Good morning, everyone. Good morning, every human being under the sun. What I'm about to say, I'm not here to please anyone. I am not here to make myself sound better or look better than any other person. I am the worst. I'm one of the least. It is by the grace of God that I am where I am, not by my own strength. So I know that there's a message going around to say that South Africans are xenophobic, South Africans don't want foreigners in their country, which I disagree with that. South Africans are welcoming people. South Africans are warm. South Africans love their African brothers. Sometimes I go to the taxi rank and I eat Scorpo, the cowhead with Mputu, with Zulus. And they feel excited. They get excited the fact that I'm eating one of their cultural food. You know, they welcome me. It's not only based on the food, but I grew around these people. Most of the people that mentor me are South Africans. From what I've seen, I don't see them as xenophobic. If a South African is reacting to the things that we as foreigners are doing, that does not make them xenophobic. They are trying to protect their land and they are also trying to protect their families. Because due to the activities that we as foreigners have brought into this country, it has destroyed a lot of young teenage South Africans, from females and males, from girls and boys, black, white. It has destroyed them. It has destroyed families. It has collapsed families. People that the family had hopes on, kids that the family had hopes on, they have now been caught up into drug abuse. Some have turned into something else. So imagine you as a parent seeing your kid going through that and tracing back the substance. Where is the substance coming from? And this substance has been found in the hands of a particular group within the country. How are you going to react? Let's say maybe you might be in England, maybe you might be in Ghana or Nigeria or Congo, Uganda. Can you imagine you as a parent finding yourself in such situations and seeing the life of your son or your daughter who you had hopes on, who was a student, that their life is changed? This is the part two. So imagine the child that you had hopes on, that this child one day is going to be someone big in life. The child one day is going to be an engineer or a doctor or any other career. But you seeing this child and this child turning into a drug addict. You seeing this child's life turning ups and down. You as a parent, how are you going to feel? The pain that you're going to feel. Please imagine that this is the same pain that South African parents, South African families are going through. Let us not try to choose sides. Let us not try to be ignorant here. The only way for us to create peace between us and South Africans is first to acknowledge our fault. We must acknowledge our problems. We must not be too quick to point fingers and say these people are xenophobic, these people are not xenophobic. You ask yourself, when we come into this country, we were welcomed. We were celebrated by these people. These people, they were excited. How did that excitement and love turn into hurt? Don't just look at the people who are reacting, the people who are reacting to the things. Also, you need to turn back to yourself and see, what is it that I have done wrong that make these people to react this way? I'll try to educate you something. South Africans are like a mirror. We foreigners are like a person standing in front of a mirror. The mirror cannot project what is not in front of it. If you bring a stick, is going to project a stick. If you bring love, the sign of love is going to project the sign of love. So how did we get here? We as Africans fighting each other. How did we get here that South African has come to a point where they say, enough is enough. Foreigners must go. Enough is enough. They are fighting those who are in corruptions. It's because of what we are doing. It's because of what we are doing, my fellow African people. Let us be realistic about this. Let us stop pointing fingers and spreading this news that no, South Africans don't like black people, South Africans don't like their black African brothers and sisters. No, it's a lie. I know these lies have been spread all over our country in Africa. We are painting these bad pictures onto these people. This is a lie. Let us not spreading the wrong message. When we are saying the South Africans are xenophobic, do you tell them why they are xenophobic? This is part 3 on South Africans are not xenophobic. Imagine you as the man of the house. You are in the ship with your family, and then you woke up in the middle of the night only to find out that the ship is sinking. What are you going to do? Are you going to let it sink? Or are you going to want to do whatever it takes you to save the ship and your family? So my fellow human being, my fellow African brothers, those that are in South Africa, those that are in Europe and all over, you are not in South Africa to know the reality. You are not in South Africa to see the things that we as foreigners are doing in this country. It is only few of us foreigner nationality that are building and contributing to the economy. The rest of us, they are destroying. We are destroying the country. We are destroying this country. We are destroying the country, not only the country alone. We are destroying even the youth, the future generation of this country. The voice of tomorrow of this country, we are destroying them. My fellow African people, if we keep avoiding and denying that we are the cause of the reactions of the South African citizen, we're never gonna go anywhere. We'll never do anything in life. We are the cause. We have brought ourselves to be where we are. Can you believe that because of your actions, some of the legitimate foreigners that are living in this country, they have been oppressed because of you guys. They have been denied access to things because of you guys. They are not being trustworthy because of you guys that have chosen to do crime in this country and destroying the life of young boys and girls in this country and destroying the infrastructure, destroying every place where we'll go. We destroy, we depreciate the value of that area. We have become like crocodiles. When we enter into an area, that area is going to turn ups and down. The value of the house go down. There are going to be a lot of nyaope boys. There are going to be a lot of teenage prostitutes. There are going to be a lot of prostitutions. Things are just going to turn ups and down. But let me ask you, my fellow African brothers and sisters, imagine if this was happening into your country. Imagine you were the victims of the boys and girls that have been caught into this situation, maybe in drugs, maybe in prostitution. Some have been caught in drugs to an extent whereby they can't do anything. They have to do whatever it takes so that they can have drugs. I've come across families like that. The only boy, you know, you African people, how important the boy in the family is. The only boy that they had, he has become the victims of drugs. The only boy that they had. We tried to do anything that we could do, me and the family. We failed. This boy is fucked. He's destroyed. Excuse my language. And you trace back, where is this thing coming from? It comes from a certain group. And who are those groups from? Are foreigners. Now when today or tomorrow this guy stand up, the South African citizens stand up and say, foreigners must go. You want to call them xenophobic? Nah, they are not xenophobic. Because if you pay attention proper, most of the high power within South African politics, their families are overseas. In Africa, that's our culture. When you get into power, you take your family out of the country. They are living large. Everything is well sorted for them. They've got savings account. So when there's crisis within your country, you don't really pay that much attention. It's only the families, the citizen families, that they've become the victims. The government is not taking actions. down to this drug issue. The government is not dealing with it. It's not dealing with it onto every corruption that we as foreigners are doing in this country. When we look at, okay, this is an example. The wires that are connected to the big pole is what they have been used to provide us with electricity. It brings light within the area for the safety of the people that lives in the area. Now, when you, as a foreigner, you come and steal the copper, what are you expecting must happen? First, you are destroying that area. Second, the crime is going to be increased in that area. Now, when these people want to stand and say no to the stealing of coppers, you call them xenophobic. You as a foreigner, somebody buy a baki. He just parked, go to the shop and get something. When he comes, the baki is gone. Sometimes as driving, he get followed, pointed with gun. If you survive, is by the grace of God. They will leave him kidnapping, kill him and take his car. And then when people, this South African citizens stand and speak, you want to call them xenophobic. You as a foreigner, you see a South African lady passing, you grab her by force. That is harassing. You talk to her anyhow. South African men are watching. When one day they decide to say that you are not respecting them, foreigner must go. Are you going to call them xenophobic? My fellow African people, everybody around the world, what our brothers are speaking and saying of this country, it is a lie. If this country has get to this levels that is fighting those foreigners that are corrupt, it is because of our own brothers, of the things that we as foreigners are doing in this country. We have brought ourselves into this level. We are the cause of xenophobia. We have totally show these people that we don't care about them, we don't care about the future, we don't care about their youth, we don't care about their country. We are destroying the infrastructure, we are destroying the wires, we are in high crime, we are in drugs, we are in stealings of cars, we're selling stolen cars, we are in many things, selling of organs, nyaupe, you may name it. It's us. That's our professions as foreigners in South Africa. Now tomorrow when these people stand and fight against such things, now you want to call them xenophobic. And you as a parent, you as a father, as a mother, you will not be pleased seeing your only son, your only child, turn into a drug victim. You will not be pleased seeing your only child becoming a drug addict. You will not be pleased to see that. It's painful. Look at what you have invested. The school you took this child to, expensive school, because you had a hope that this is a future leader of tomorrow. This is a doctor, this is an engineer of tomorrow. But few months down the line, this person become a victim of drugs. That has been sold by us foreigners. And then when such families stand for these corruptions that we are doing in their country, you want to call them xenophobic? Nah, my brothers, we need to change. We need to change. We owe South African citizens an apology. And on top of that, we call the South African men that they are lazy in their country. The same people who fought for peace. The same people who fought for this country. They won, they conquer. Their economy is moving. Our countries has collapsed. Destroy infrastructure, poor economy structure, poor leadership. We run to this country with big mouth and say that these people are lazy. If they are lazy, why is our country not looking better than theirs? Since we are hard workers.